Hi, it's tennis coach Jimmy. Thanks for tuning in. So in this video, we're going to learn how to hit a basic tennis single-handed backhand. So let's get into it. The first thing we want to talk about are the grips. So what I tend to teach my beginner players are two grips for the single-handed backhand. So the first grip is going to be the chopper grip. So get the V of my hand and I run it all the way down the handle, so I'm shaking hands with the racket. The bottom of my index finger I want to be holding and placing on bevel number 2, so 1, 2, so on this bevel number 2. So I'm shaking hands with the racket. So you can see here I've got a flat racket open face. This is going to give me lots of margin, lots of string to strike the ball as a beginner trying to learn the shot and getting into it. That tends to work quite well. The other grip would be the Eastern backhand grip. So with my my bevels here, we're going to be on bevel number 1, so holding bevel number 1, bottom of my index finger resting on here. So this, you can see I've got a slight angle on the racket, so this is going to start to generate me some topspin on my single-handed backhands. I can hit flat on this shot as well, but mostly players will be using this grip to generate some topspin. So they're the two main grips. Let's get into the next bit. So the next thing to talk about is a good ready position to await for the backhand to come towards you. So a good ready position should look like this. We should have our knees bent, should be on our toes, and we should have the racket out in front of us. So when the ball comes, we can turn nicely and swing to the ball. I see a lot of players, they sometimes have their rackets sort of here. So for the time it takes for the racket to go from here to here is much longer than if the racket is out in front of you and ready to go either distance or in either direction. So knees bent on our toes. So we bend our knees to give us a nice stable base. That means that we can push off, we can get more power on the shots when our legs are lower and more stability. And also we want to try, if we can, to split step. The split step is a little jump that we do. It means that we're on our toes, we're not on the flats of our feet, and it's going to help us react a little bit quicker to the shot. So ready position, on our toes, split step as the ball is struck from our opponent, and it's going to help us react, turn and hit the ball. Okay, so let's talk about the stance. So we want to be in a closed stance when we hit a basic single-handed backhand. So what we want to do, we want to lead with the right leg. I'm a right-hander, obviously flip it around if you're a left-hander. So lead with the right leg, and then my left leg is behind here, kind of at a slight angle. We want probably a racket head between the legs. Okay, so we want our knees bent. This is going to give us stability like we talked about in the other previous section of the video. The lower you are with your legs, the more power you're going to drive on your tennis shots. The higher up you are, the more likely you are to be unstable on the shot. So we want to be using our legs nice and sideways on, turning the shoulder, and then trying to drive our body weight through the shot as we hit the ball, and that again is going to add more power on our tennis backhand shot. Right, so we know the stance that we want to hold. The next bit, obviously, as the ball comes towards us, we're in our ready position. We are going to be turning our trunk, so we're going to be turning our shoulder. We want to try and turn as far as we can this way. This is going to make the racket drive low. Okay, so the lower we can get our racket, the more swing path we can get on the shot and the more power we're going to generate on the single-handed backhand. Okay, so the ball comes towards us, we're in our ready position, We turn our trunk, so we want to get our racket low. We want to swing low to high and finish up here. We don't want to finish over here because otherwise we're going to be off balance on the shot. The ball's not going to go where we want it. So another quick tip that I like to use is, as the ball comes towards me, I hold my left hand on the racket throat. So this is going to help me get some stability on the shot. So I'm in my ready position. I keep the left hand on the throat as long as possible, turning my trunk like this, getting myself sideways on, and then swinging low to high. And then as I drive my racket forwards, my left arm is driving the other way to help generate racket speed on the shot. One more time. So in our ready position, we're going to do our split step. We turn our trunk, we get ourselves sideways on, leading with the right leg, and then we drive the racket forwards from low to high and finish like this. A little bit like a ballet dancer. It should look really elegant. Players like Roger Federer and Stan Wawrinka have fantastic backhands for you to copy. So let's get into the next bit. So the last thing I want to talk about is the contact point. So very key for single-handed backhands. We really do have to be hitting the ball at waist height and out in front of us. If we don't, if we're hitting the ball between shoulder and waist, we're a little bit compromised. We don't have the benefit of having a second hand for as we do for double-handed backhands to give us the strength on the shot. So hence why you see a lot of players that deliver this shot really well, like Stan Wawrinka and Roger Federer. Their footwork is impeccable. They're getting themselves into the right position every time. So the key is we need to hit the ball at waist height and out in front of us. If we hit it behind us, it's going to go off not where we want it. If we hit it beside us, it's okay, but obviously if we hit it in front of us at waist height, we can generate the most racket speed and momentum body weight wise on the shot. So just to recap, so we've got our ready position, holding our chopper or our Eastern backhand grip. We're going for the split step. We're turning our trunk. We're getting ourselves sideways on. We're swinging the racket from low to high, and we're making contact at waist height and out in front of us. And we're driving the racket all the way up like this. All the way. And remember, we're holding the throat of the racket with our left hand, sorry, and we're going to drive it the other way as we drive our racket forwards. Give this a go, guys. I'll put some demos up around the video so you can see visually how it's supposed to work. Feel free to comment, let me know if there's anything that you weren't sure about, or if other videos that you want to see on some basic tennis shots. I will be doing some more basic tennis shot videos on some volleys and some other serves as well. So yeah, we'll see you in the next video.